It is what it is. Hi, I'm Brenda, Power Medicine Woman. It has been an interesting day so far. How does it look? Well, let's just get our spirit self together. When you're frazzled, hello everybody. When you're frazzled and you're upset, life starts to take a toll. What can you do? Take a deep breath in and let it out. Look at all these feathers that are floating by. Take a deep breath in, let it out. If you feel scattered, feel flat, just put your hands together, cross, turn hands, then cross your ankles, and then just breathe in and lift your spine. Get that energy rolling. I'm not sure which light is causing me to be so. It's okay. We're okay. Everything is fine. Didn't get a chance to set up any of my cameras. Getting my husband off to work. He kept saying, I feel flat. And I says, okay, let's do some Wayne Cook. Get out there. He's getting ready to leave. He's got a flat tire. I'm like, no. Yeah, literally, it took it serious. Made me laugh. Oh, that's funny. Oh, there now. See, what happens is when you're scattered, you can wipe out energy out of people, wipe energy out of yourself. You won't be able to switch ankles. You won't be able to focus on reading, retain anything, to communicate. Energy is scattered. Like I said, you feel flat. And the problem with that is that if you are scrambled, you can actually take on other people's energies. The emotions will kick in and then start creating thoughts. And the next thing you know, you think it's all your crap. It really isn't. Oh, there goes the brain. Last part, put your hand up like this. It helps bring the two halves together. Oh, I felt that energy shift. A lot has been going on. What can you do when you have to handle stress? Oh, there goes my screen again. What can you do? What can you really honestly do? And a lot of it has to do with being able to have enough knowledge and education to be able to, and what do I mean by that? Simply put, the education of the soul, the education of the spirit, the education to not just be over-identifying with matter, not just letting life kick you in the ass. It's so much more than that. You are so much more than your problems and your issues and your emotions. And when you have them, it is your reactions. It is you're looking at your beliefs. You're looking at your emotions. You're looking at your values, and spirit says, I don't like that light. So they're picky. Okay, they're persnickety. So let's just see what we do if we take this light up here and go like that. Well, there goes the light falling backwards. Still works. Okay, so lighting. I said with all of the family issues that I was going to, I was going to shine brighter today. And I wasn't kidding. Apparently, the cameras are going to show you that, yes, you will shine. And I'll say, yes, I will shine. I will shine brighter. And slowly watching the camera set change. Stop it. Nope. It's going to be a little boogaboo. Anyways, I'll just keep an eye on that. And if I disappear, then I'll just readjust it. So there was Things have to happen in your life in order for you to be motivated. Okay? Let's just put it that way real quick. It's for you to be motivated. What does all that mean? Joy can motivate you, yes. Happiness can motivate you. But do we choose it? Do we know that we're hardwired for it? Do we know that we can? A lot of times we don't. A lot of times we just fall into the trap of over-identifying with pain, our reaction, our triggers. And can you go back in time? You know, this is a little time turner, and some of you probably recognize it from Harry Potter, but it's attached to an Egyptian necklace. The little piece broke off, and so until I could fix it, I hooked this on there. Yes, you can go back in time. Physically, no. But you're a conscious being. You're a soul. When you move the ego out of the way, and you listen with your heart, and you listen with your gut, and you listen with spirit, then you are in that spirit position with your spirit mindset, and you can hear ego. So I live it, breathe it, walk it, talk it, dream it all the time. And when something in my program needs to be shifted and changed, I can stand back in my spiritual self and see how the ego is over-identifying. And I'm like, I will feel just like you feel. And those emotions create the thoughts that match it. And I will think, and then the memories will pop up, the constructed memories of it. All of these things will begin to pop. When that happens, I know spiritually, it's like, okay, I can't waste this. I have to watch it, live it, be it, dream it, whatever. I have to be in it. But I don't have to let it own me. So I have to feel to the degree. So I don't hold back. I just go with the flow. I see how far it takes me. I see how far does my emotions get. I see where the story of where there's no love. Okay, so I get to see it. I get to hear it. I get to look at the different rings out from me. There's me. I project out. Then the next ring will be, my loved ones that are right in my face, like my husband or my kids or my dogs or my birdies or whatever. Then the next ring out. And then as it goes out, then you'll hear a story from your family that's about that. And you're like, ooh, that triggers. You're watching TV. Ooh, that triggers. And Spirit is speaking to you, telling you where you're limited, where you have taken as the creator and you co-created this world. And remember when you asked me to help you make that chocolate chip cookie, Spirit says, God says, hey, go create. Okay, I'm going to make a chocolate chip cookie. Okay, what do you need? I need flour. Bink. I need sugar. Bink. I need, and then all of a sudden, Spirit is granted all those things, makes a cookie. I need some poop. Okay, bink. Oh, I'm going to put poop on it. Oh, that does not work. Okay, don't be blaming God. You're co-creating, but you're creating. You have the choices to make. And we have to be responsible for how our soul has journeyed through. It is soul journey. And this is just a drop off. This is the moment of where I chose to be Brenda Power. And this is the things that I can see that I need to change. So can I go back in time? You can go in your spiritual mindset, and you can go back through your consciousness and begin to change. What do you change? You change the decision. I need to react that way. No, you don't. I can change the emotion of how I accepted it, how I accepted the way that this is. You can change it. Yes, a memory is a memory. You're supposed to know and you're supposed to learn, and you can get to that next level. But what I really want to talk about is what I'm looking for right now. It's called values. So some of you see me reaching over, and what I'm doing is I need to look up values. I'm writing my dissertation. One of the things that helps us create this illusion called life is values. They are a container for how you create, how you can create your particular individual personalized reality. Your soul says you're going to do this with these values, and you're going to have the players are all of the people, the souls that are going to show up as family, friends, you name it, we're there. Now, somehow I raised my hand to be the bad person in somebody's life. And did I intentionally do it to them? No. Do they think I did? Yes. Are they hurt? Yes. Are they taking it out on me? Yes. Do I have to accept that? No. Do I have to correct it? No. It's their journey. What level are they on an awakening? It's their journey. Our true purpose. Half of you are going, I don't even know what my purpose is. Where is my purpose? Your true purpose will show up in your reality by the means of your values that motivate you. Wow. When I first asked people what are their values, including myself, it's amazing how you have them, you use them. But to intentionally think about them sometimes can make you go, here's a quick, easy one. What is important to you? You begin to define that. And you use that as part of your sentence. At first you go, family, friends. Okay. What I found out that if the hierarchy of that I'm supposed to put family first, that means where am I on the list? As my soul began to awake, I broke those cultures. I broke those traditions. I broke those. I'm not going to become an abuser. I'm not going to become an alcoholic. I'm not going to become a negative, addicted person. I'm not going to be a drug abuser. I'm not going to sit there and have a negative life. I broke a lot of those chains. If I was going to put family first, that means I would have to be like them. Don't separate myself. I put myself on top of that list, not in the ego sense of vain, but I do put pride in myself in that ego way. But on a spiritual aspect of the spiritual mind, becoming a spiritual human, I let go of those limitations that says, in order for me to be in family, I have to give up myself and love them more. I did that as a mother. I did that as a daughter. And I found out that when you do that, you put people on pedestals. When you do that, you don't allow yourself to think for yourself. When you do that, you quietly, the gallbladder meridian, the wood element, that includes liver, you'll secretly, without even know you're doing it, start building bitterness, resentment. Until one day you're like, what about me? What the fuck? Why is it always about you? Now, some people will live in two sides of their head or talk out two sides of their mouth, and that is they're incongruent. They won't sit there and they'll tell you that they've healed, they've grown, they've done this, they got over it, and then 2 seconds later, they're bitching and moaning in bitterness because they're showing you where all of that is attached. Now, you can look at it and you can use discernment and saying, hey, am I still doing that? You don't need to rub it into their face. If they need to learn about it, then the universe will set it up so they can learn. But you can also say, I've done that. Where am I doing that? And I want to be done with that. And the value is I value avoiding that. But you don't want to avoid. You want to heal the root. It says you have to avoid that. When you heal the root that's attached to the pain, the decision, the belief in the value, then your world will change. A miracle is a shift in thought. So I valued one of my family members. I was the baby at the time, and I was easily led, easily influenced because that was part of my sign. astrology, a numerology, to be easily persuaded. And so I was doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I realized I don't even have my card to tell me, if somebody's paid. Isn't that interesting? But we'll get to that. People have paid, I think. I will get to that. But first, let me continue on with my next few minutes of doing this. Spirit loves to speak. I believed him. I valued their opinion. Now, as I got older, I valued their opinion. There wasn't just family. It was the critics. It was the haters. Because I valued it, I believed that they were right. So over time, I build all this up. One day, Spirit said, stop. Stop it. Consider the source. And then, like for instance, the example was, would you pay good money to go to somebody that's going to teach you how to be a millionaire when they have got 2 dimes to rub together? No. Okay. So then I started to look at, and I kept hearing, apply. So I used my discernment. And when people would start to criticize me, I could feel my reaction, my belief that I accepted and gave them my willpower away. And I'm like, whoa, get back here, energy, get back here. I'm looking through my spiritual mind and I'm hearing the manipulation, the blame, the shame. I thought, why are they wanting me to have to change who I am to live in their world? Oh, paradigms. Okay, so I looked at paradigms, I looked all this up, and I realized, oh my goodness. So I began to, with knowledge, to be able to see it, know it, and stop it. And then I went in and I used healing tools like EFT. This is before I had Hope Therapy. And I began to disrupt the signal that created the strategy that supported that value. And I changed. Oh, wow, you've changed. As if I don't like you. Turn back to the person I know who you are. And I knew I was onto something. But I also had a voice coming out. I healed the root and the values and the beliefs. And as I kept healing those, my voice, what I normally couldn't answer, I came up with some interesting things to say that balanced. I didn't have to bitch or moan, but it was just I gave a response and they didn't know how to deal with that because I showed up different. And it was easy. I thought, where was that hidden all this time, huh? Where is that? Where was that? And the more I kept working on it, the more then it was like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much for your opinion. But I learned it this way. And after a while, people got bored with trying to manipulate me because the triggers for them to push the button had disappeared. And I don't even know if they even realized they were doing it themselves because I don't think they were intentionally realizing that they were doing what they were taught, or they thought that was the way you were supposed to bond, relate, communicate. But that's not how we bond, relate, and communicate. That's not how we love. There's a whole nother level out there. So when you think of your values, it's what is important to you. And there's a hierarchy. And the thing is if you don't have values, it says, hey, this is the one spot you chose that's, euphoric and joyful and love. And we just don't have values. Our values are a criteria. It is a way we organize all of our beliefs. And each value has a strategy. And when you begin to understand it's a container to how you create life, you can really change it. And if you don't understand using healing tools, then what's important to me? And then if it's me, well, what does that look like? How do I go after that? And let it motivate you. But if you're saying it's you, and then all of a sudden you put yourself last and put everybody first, rearrange those values, because you're at somewhere either not on the list or on the bottom of the list, but you got to get your head that says, this is my values, to what the program in your body's consciousness says is already written. You can change that, heal it, and become congruent. So I made a decision about my life. And little by little, my life changed. I still believe that I shouldn't talk bad about people, because that's a good value. Because I see that everybody has a story, a pain, a suffering. It's just that this great person and the next great person that I'm having the friendship with, we no longer are in sync and we no longer match. And it's okay. Yeah, I could sit there and ego and tell you how well they done me wrong, but then I would be on the cause and effect. I'd be on the effect side of the equation, and I'd be in victim consciousness with a vulnerable personality. No, that's not who I am. I don't value that. I don't care what it gives you and what rewards you are. There's more loss and energy power than anything, and you can't be your authentic self, because that shit owns you. When you come to me and ask for a reading, and I give you a reading, a lot of you are like excited, because you're like, yes, but don't just take the reading. You know, I had this person suffering, and I said, well, you can heal the pain, and then you get to enjoy the person more, the one that you lost, and you'll be able to thrive again. And you can heal the fact that you lived and they died, and they go, because they're like, I'll do anything. As soon as I suggested, here's a free thing, or even something you can pay for, it was, oh, no, I'm already using meditation. I'm already doing this. All I wanted to say was, how's that working for you? Because again, you don't realize the two thoughts. They're completely separate. And when you separate them, you don't even know it. So you have to listen to your excuses and your reasons. You have to begin to become one with the two parts of yourself. And when you realize that you don't really want to give the pain, there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to begin to own it, that yes, I'm going to keep this pain because that's my identity. And I don't want to get over the pain and you have to be okay with that. But if you literally are done with it, then find a way, because there is answers. Okay. Now, the only problem with this is I have got to skirt tail myself, and I've got layers of clothes on, so I look fatter than what I am. Why does that bother me? Because right now I'm still vulnerable from after the event that occurred. I thought it was very important that I just nip it in the bud, and I'm okay to tell you my life, but I won't bash people. I'm okay to show you how to resolve those emotions. I'm not asking for minions. I'm not asking you to hate. I'm asking you to evolve. So I share, because people ask, how do you get from here to there? And I'm showing you. So you're going to have to bear with me just for hopefully less than a minute. I'm going to boogie to go get my husband had a flat tire. The time that it would have took me to get my camera set up, to put on makeup, to get ready. No, that was gone. That was out the door. That was, So here we go. Be fast, Brenda. Just be fast. Go, 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 go. I'm here. Okay, plug it in. Then I can see what everybody's up to. I'm up to 5'8". I lost a half inch. Okay, how do I clear that? Empty, disappear, turn it on, go. Holy crap, how many things I got open? But when you emotionally have those triggers and you can hear all the bitching and the anger, those are the limitations. And you got to stop and you got to think about it. And you have to decide whether you want those to be who you are, or are you ready to go to one step further? And now it's frozen. I have to wait for it to freeze its little self. Oh, talk about freeze. It is colder than the dickens here. Oh, earthquake. Just kidding. Okay. So I'm looking at you, lovely people. I am thankful for you in my life. You are my family. Lenore is not even just Mercury retrograde. And Saturn, I have an issue with Saturn, or Saturn has an issue with me. And it's also in retrograde. And as far as knowledgeable in medicine, not drugs, prescription, or that. Am I knowledgeable in certain herbs and vitamins and homeopathics? Not as in deep with that, because I'm more into the medicine of the energy medicine of the body, and how even if you had those nutrients, your body may not absorb it, take it in, and allow you to get to that stage of healthiness. So I look at the roots, I look where energy is blocked, I look to see where the magnetic issues are, and then we go from there. Okay. Facebook. No, Brenda, you don't want Facebook. That's right. I don't want that. So blah, 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 blah. Energy medicine. I noticed that when you start changing the emotions, the chemical peptides that are so, and you calm them down with your own ability, because Spirit always told me, hey, what if the end of the world was here and you were sick? No medicine, no nothing. What would you do? And I said, I don't know. What would I do? Well, glad you asked, Spirit said. We do this. And it's like, oh, that shit works. Aw. And the love that's pouring in. Because we go through this shit together. We know that that light's now screwed up. And we're not alone. And by helping to heal, then you understand that you don't have to be alone on this journey either. Because there's nothing like feeling rejected, pain, abandonment. And I didn't feel that. What I felt was, you're saying what they wrote. You're saying I am not allowed to have the right as a woman or as a family member to make a decision, and that somehow it's somebody else's fault for me that made a decision. I own up to the decision I made because it was the right one for me. It physically made me healthier, mentally, emotionally made me healthier. I'm sorry that I didn't live up to your standards. And according to what was written, I didn't even live up to the fact that they had this right and wrong. And how dare I break the right and wrong? You know, it tells a lot about you. My reaction was, wow. It went back to a value where I valued their opinion. And when I last night, I did my healing. I said, no more valuing other people's opinion about me. And I didn't realize how much I believed the lie that I was told no one loved me in the family. And I believed it for years. And all of a sudden it had hit. You start putting this together with this, and you're like, oh shit. You see in the puzzle is making a picture, and you're like, oh, hell no. And then when those pieces come in, you can tap it out. You can get rid of it. You can change it. And as soon as I did, all those reactions, all of those things that said I couldn't be me, all of that stuff just and layer by layer. I mean, it affected me. And when I noticed it was connected to my bronchial lungs, this is, I have to be smothered. I can't breathe. I can't do this. And as I began, and I was having an asthma attack, so as I thought, you know what, screw the medicine. And I went and I started to use my hope therapy, and then my lungs just went, and then I started to rub acupuncture points, and my lungs returned without medicine. And I was like, holy shit, it's related to it. It is related to it. And I'm thankful, so thankful for that bitch slap. But you can become a spiritual human, and you can stand in your spirit as you go through the ego shit, and you don't waste it. Yes, you got to go through it. Yes, it's painful. But you get to hear your thoughts. You get to hear the pattern. You get to discover shit you didn't even know that was there. But it's the things you need to know for the transformation to happen. Okay? It's so, so, so important. Okay. And once you do the healing, all of a sudden those emotions calm down, and then your thoughts, those thoughts change. And usually you can have the same thought, but like change one word: having, getting, being. You know, it's the verb or the predicate. No, I think it's the verb. And it's just it's amazing. Now the problem with this is it says it business day for the payment to process. It came as an e-check, which means it says that I have pending money for $11, but it's not on my way. It's on the way, but you have to wait for the clearance. Now, normally when you do PayPal, you send money, it can get to me right away. And usually when I have one of those happen, I have to wait. But I'm going to trust that the money's going to come through. And this is where I can take a big leap of faith and trust spirit. If this person decides they can't pay, or that it gets rejected, because banks have rejected, not people or PayPal, then it'll be the journey that I'm meant to be on. But I don't think that's what the intention is. Now, I'm shrinking. Yes, I'm shrinking. Yes. Forgot. I'm just catching up on the things. Oh, and I'll be glad when I get to reread all these. Remember, hit love. You get a card. Share into groups. Share, and you get a card. Spirit loves to give back and keep that energy exchange beautiful. Oh, yeah. The love. Yeah. I was just reading what Jennifer wrote. Yeah, it's just we've been working with a series, and other people, people that are in the beginning of becoming a spiritual human, people that have been on this journey through empowerment, through enlightenment to become a spiritual human. And I'm hoping to get some series videos so that you all can see what it is like. Where are you on your path, and where would you like to be? And so then these people will show you their vulnerability, but they are also going to show you that they're much happier than where they were. They are so happy. They don't want to go back to what it was. They are going to help be the next mentor. You can say, wow, my life was that. I want that now. I want to be just like that. So it's going to be good. It's a slow process, because as you can see, I have troubles with lighting. Oh, the one series, I have red hair. I mean, why? Because of the camera, the lighting. It's being fun. Now, somebody paid, and like I said, it says it's in queue for 6 to 8 days, but I'm going to trust. And I'm not sure if the person is here. I don't see their name, so they may be going by something else. So I'm going to say Charlemagne Scoden. Now, I'm going to wait for that person to show up. And when they do, then we will go a next step further. I love giving like the one-on-ones, which is referred to as the 1111. Now, the more one-on-one we are, the more that like if you called in, then we could really work and I can give details. But giving a reading just like this, you can still get a lot out of it. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for telling me that you shared, because sometimes it depends on where you shared. It may not show up or they don't let me see it. Okay, so that is good. Charlemagne. Oh, maybe Charlemagne's over here. Oops. Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited to read the messages. Okay, I don't see Charlemagne. Is Charlemagne here? I said that right. Charmaine, not Charlemagne. Charmaine. Char. CHARMAINE. They paid. Don't. If that happens, somebody pays, I will get a hold of them, and I don't really care to do it after the show, because the after the show is meant for those that don't, they get their discount. It's just a set amount of what to pay. This is what we do. The big discounts are on the show. Just remember that yes, we'll do the minute and a half. Somebody shared twice. That means I get you 2 cards. Charlemagne. Well, we'll wait. I will maybe begin to do the reads. So I'm not sure who that is. No, I don't think it's that person there. So as soon as, if you go by a different name, you say, say, that is me, Charmaine. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I was going to give everybody 5-minute read. No, that's not. No, I don't have the strength for that. Dreaming. Okay, so last night I was being human and allowing myself to hear all of my programs. And it's like, there's a stage that when you get to, I'll never forget the time when I was working with somebody and a drill hit them in the head. So we quickly did EFT, the pain went away, and all of a sudden I looked and I seen the little girl inside go, I didn't get to cry about it. That is, I said, I didn't mean to invalidate you. Part of having emotions is so that you can commune with that part of yourself about how this is. I said, we can cry about it, or we can tap it out. We can try whatever. Yeah, we're ready to validate you. Yes, you have a voice. Yes, this is who you are. And so last night, I mean, it was just like, it was weird because my head, I was fine, but my heart was pounding out of my chest. And I said, what the hell is my body consciousness saying? So I had to go in, tune into my body and say, okay, I validate you. What's going on? And all of a sudden my body says, I'm hurt. I'm really hurt. I don't want to forgive. I'm hurt. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, Jesus. And I had to feel that to release it. And so I just kept using hope therapy and going deeper and deeper. And, Teresa, is that you? I believe if that's you, Teresa Perkins, you say yes. That way I know. But it was so, and so I was like, fine, I'm going to be a little brat. I'm going to be a little, I need to validate these emotions, and I'm going to let myself, and I set my timer. I said, you get 2 minutes to bitching. Go on, go. It was basically grunting. And then all of a sudden I got up, and without realizing it, I'm pacing the floor and I'm saying all this shit. And I had my recorder, and I was like, whoa. And I'm like, get it out, get it out, get it out. You have to vent, get it out, get it out. And then all of a sudden the timer went off, and I go, I'm not done. 2 more minutes. And then all of a sudden I exhausted it. And that's important. Like when you're doing healing, like for instance, when you do values, elicit your values or any of that, you write it down and then you exhaust it. Breathe in, and then you exhaust it some more. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Yes. Okay. And so then it's like, okay. Yeah. Now I'm just playing in it. I've heard everything I need to do. And then all of a sudden, as I'm sitting there, I healed it out and I'm healing it out. And the emotions started to calm down. All of a sudden it was like, hey, do you know what you value? Their opinion. I do not. I started arguing with myself. I don't. I don't. Like, where would I even think I value that? And I saw myself as a little kid, and I allowed my mind to drift there and see it. And I'm like, oh, I see it. And it was like a shocker, but it wasn't shock because I didn't go, it was, wow, really? And I got to go deeper. And a whole nother stuff came up, and I healed the values and then went down again and exhausted it one more time. And so it's so again, when you change the values, it's not just saying you're changing. You literally have to notice how you're hooked into believing that you gave them that power. Hey, Karen. Your son was so sweet. He got on my wall and told me he loved me. Aw. So, okay. If for any reason I don't see, because it's hard to see, I am going to do the minute and a half read. So hopefully Charmaine, I don't know. I don't even recognize that person's name. And it doesn't say anything, any other clue for me. See how that goes. Now, no matter what room you're in, YouTube or Facebook, I'm going to keep an eye on it. You say yes, please. Spirit will come through, give you a minute and a half read, but only say yes, please once. And remember, my screen is going to show us differently. And so as soon as I begin to see that, I go right in order. So if you're going to sit there and talk 20 times, then it's going to erase my board, and then I'll have to start over. Okay, so just to let you know. Okay. The first thing is I see is a yes, please over here, and Momo, the VTT. Okay. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Now, the only problem is with this new lighting, it makes it so it's hard for me to see, but that's okay. We will play anyway. There's a loved one coming through, and I don't know. Something about say sorry to John. I don't know what that is, whether it's a movie or if that's a real life person. Turn it on. Good job. But it has to do with somebody taking action, and which caused you to have a reaction. And this reaction has created a vibration in you that's very low. And I said, okay, what is that about? And they said that it's an anxiety. So it keeps coming back. Okay. And then I said, and now it's become a habit. And I'm like, the trigger is that when somebody is lofty. Can you give me an age of when this happened? About 3 years old. And at 3 years old, you don't ever want that to happen again. So some of your values will come up as, I value not to feel that ever again. And you wouldn't think that's a value because you can think family or achievement. Those are values, but we do write those. And that value that you don't ever want this to happen again. Now remember, what we resist persists. So then it's, if we focus on it, or if you have a value container, it'll keep projecting out and coming back, keep projecting out, coming back. So one of the key things that they say that you need to heal is disapproval. Explore disapproval. Look it up, get the definition, because there might be other words that would support it, and then you can see how it is in your life. Now you can either heal it on your own, and remember there's always those free tools that I have. EFT is one of the biggest ones. Oh my God, it helps you really get those thoughts and the emotions to calm down, but you then have to reevaluate how you accept it, how you believe it, how you project it, how it's a filter that's between you and reality. But you know that it's inside and you need to pull it out because the body keeps repeating. So now if I go over here, I see a Jennifer Margaret. Turtle. You have a particular habit, good or bad, it doesn't matter, it's both, that changed the energy vibration inside of you. And when that happens, it causes you to panic. And I said, inside the womb. So it is 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 months. 2 months inside the womb. And when that happens, we have to look at, is that yours? No. Is that a prenatal? Yes. And the emotion in this case is to be inferior while everybody else is in charge. So that means get your magnet and roll that out. And you have to say prenatal conception, inferiority complex, and do that 10 times. I know she knows this. This is why I'm not doing it right now, because I know she'll do it. Now, it has to do with the consciousness of the depression. So the body's consciousness has its own thought about depression, and it is a habit that has to do with 6B, that has to do with being inadequate. So now you've got this one over here, and you got to be inadequate. How old? And it's inside the womb at 2 months old again. So that's connected. So again, prenatal conception, inadequate, roll it out 10 times. Okay. And that will hopefully start to change that energy vibration that allows you to go to that next level. We're going to take an Amy Jensen. Okay. And then over here. Okay, Amy Jensen. Somebody is coming through. I can't tell, but oh my God, it's a disgrace. Who's a disgrace? Is she considered a disgrace? There was a lot of judgment about how you should look, act, be. And even though you were this great girl that obeyed and did things, and sometimes I hear argument with your mama or whatever, the point is that there's a consciousness in the body that says it has been written that you have to have a particular outcome. Okay. And it does affect the depression or the way the prefrontal cortex functions. And you have to look at the word disgraced. Do we roll that or hold it? In this case, what I would tell you to do for the disgrace would be to hold R2S. Is that related to the... No, that's not related to that. So R2S, you have to check something. That has to do with your your bones and a little bit of your muscles. Apparently more of the ligament. Because it controls your destiny. So does it have to do with relating to the knee? Yeah. Over here. We did that. Delinda Haynes. Delinda. The feeling of indifferent. They're saying, let's say, okay, you adjusted, you healed, however you did it. You come to this indifference, and you're like, I don't care. They're saying that in this difference, it is actually like a negative emotion. There's a difference between getting to that achievement of I don't care to, okay, I'm overcoming it, I don't care. And it becomes a numbing effect, like a Novocaine. The problem with that is that it causes you to take action when people's energies create a resonation and cause you to go there. So the indifference now becomes an action. A reaction, it becomes an action. It's like you have to actively take that in order to what? Not feel something? How many? One. What is it that she doesn't want to feel? The anxiety. So you've learned how to heal your anxiety by putting on the cap of indifference. So I would say, is that like a safety blanket? Yes. So don't heal that, but just be aware of the fact that the anxiety is there. What can you heal? No, that you understand that's a habit. What they want you to address is self-abuse. A self-abuse, and in this case, you know what it is, but you also sit there and degrade yourself. And you don't need any help with that. And that's why it's a self-abuse, because you have to catch when you are saying those things about yourself, and because you don't need to, because you feel indifferent towards them. So now you've turned it on you so that you're doing what they would have done, but you can handle it more because you're doing it. They're not. And I'll tell you, the brain knows no difference who's doing it. It just knows it's being abused. Amy Patterson. Oh, turn it on. Miss Patterson, say hello to your mama and your sissy. Repulsed. Food, family, friends. Okay, so this repulsion that I got was all of a sudden they were repulsed by you. You're repulsed by them. You're repulsed by them because of how they don't see me as one of them. Really? So do you believe they don't see you as one of you? And so it's a trouble of feeling like you can fit in. The trouble of feeling that you can fit in. But it's changed this energy field that you're beginning to wake up. You're beginning to wake up as an adult to the point where it's okay to leave your mama's house and get ready to rely on yourself instead of rely on others. It's okay because to fit in is fitting in the way that you would like to fit in. And there are resources galore out there to help you to do this. Just say thank you, Spirit, and bring it in. The issue with pride, take a look at and find out what pride means. Many different ways of looking at pride, how to deal with pride. But one of the things is that you change when others do is it all of okay, particular? What? Okay, shh. What particular thing they do that causes it? Because you feel attacked. Gotcha. Just this, Amy, just start off with this and say, I feel attacked. I feel attacked. Or do EFT and say, even though I feel attacked. Because I want you to, when you do that, I want you to feel it, whether it's in the head or the body. But I need you to own that you know this, and you start to remove that out. Then the pain will become less and less, and they won't have to own you. I'm not sure who Picker Rick is, but over here, Picker Rick, and then we'll go back over here. Picker Rick. What's worthless? Oh, there's like a feeling of flat, of worthless. Wow, it is a flat feeling. And the feeling is I can't find my worth. No. I just don't see any joy. There's an interesting feel that, and I feel like it's right here. Okay, so if you feel flat, I would say look up Wayne Cook Posture by Don Eden. I also have it on my website. Just it's medicine woman number 4, the letter U.weebly.com. And then you look under healing tools, and then you'll see Wayne Cook. It did something to the energy though. Inside, on the outside. So is it like a broadcast? No. On the outside, does it draw in? What's it draw in? Somehow it draws in the right and wrong. No. Self what? Self-justifying. It's like you're not validated. You have to self-justify why you are acting and being the way you are, and you have to use excuses and reasonings. And there's a part of you, just leave me the fuck alone for a moment. I just need to chill pill. I need to regroup. So I feel that happening to you. If I get anything right, please let me know. Lisa Hildebrand. Lisa. You home yet? Okay. Oh, you've been feeling awkward about something. Because you're beginning to see something differently that you haven't seen before. And yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be getting together. But what it's happening is that you are, you're beginning to see how you do an auto response. And there's a part of you that's like, but I don't know if I really want to do that auto response anymore. You can see how you were just a program running, and now you're beginning to wake up and I don't really know if I want to. And that you don't have to do your auto responses. We just look at them and start to heal those auto responses out, because the energy, it changes your authenticness, which means who your ego says you were. You're beginning to evaluate that, change it, so you can go more into your spiritual authenticness. Thank you, Picker. So you're beginning to come and bump up against your habits. And oh, wait, that's not me. Hey, oh. And that's good, because you're awakening and you can begin to write those down. And then once you do, when you get enough information, your ego's going, shit, she found out. And then you're going to not be able to unsee what you see, and then you can resolve it out and then move to that next authentic self, which is very beautiful. Trust me. So good job. We're going to go to Teresa Perkins. Miss Teresa. Wait, what? You're all over the place. Is that her energy? No, that's people's energies all over her. Oh, that's not good. With just a simple doing that, yes, but talk to her about what? At 2 years old. At 2 years old, it was... you began to, I think, already be an empath and kinesthetic, which means you already began to feel when people would leave their shit in the room or the way they aimed it. We don't know how to be responsible for our energies when we present it with other people. That's why it's okay when you can do shit alone. But when you're with people, you need to be responsible for those energies. Sometimes they trip people. Sometimes they hurt people. And so and even if you're just thinking, well, you picked all this up, it does affect you. And they said something to do with your body parts ache or something. That's not even your emotions that are causing it. It is your immune system that's picking it up. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is you just rub your hands together and you bend them back and you push and breathe. The hand that goes in the air is where your eyes go. Ready? And the other hand goes down. So do that several times, okay? And then when you're like done, and then you come back, you can do this and do a figure 8 and sweep it out and breathe. And when you do that, do it here, do it at the solar plex, do it at your hips, do it at your knees, do it at your ankles, and you will begin to push those people off. And then kind of end it by putting your finger in your belly button and your third eye and push and lift up, because you need to get that energy around your egg that goes poof, pushes the rest of the people away, so their shit will just bounce off of you. You don't need this to be down or in the back to be down, because then it just soaks people in. Lenore Sayers. All righty. Oh, you've had some interesting light come in. You've helped you see. You've kind of grown. You don't have that same kind of mindset. You're tweaking it a bit. You're beginning to look at people and say, I used to think that way. I don't have to anymore. You're exposing yourself to other people. You're becoming stronger. They said that there is an engram that creates an inner trigger, and not that it affects you up here, but it affects in the physical. And they said that there's a disdain. You were young and you were taught that disdain is a tool that you're supposed to use against people, and that protects you. And so you valued of having that power. And they're saying, just reevaluate that because you now are moving into your authentic spiritual human self of becoming that you value achievement. You value yourself, you value acknowledgement, so your value systems are changing, which is a very good thing. They're saying that you'll know when you're doing it because you'll do an obsession. So what would you do? I would say hold R1S, that's a large intestine, and notice the failure because it doesn't work. Then hold L2D and notice the failure. Are those invading? No, they're just there. So you have failure that's in those places. And this is even before you start to remove the disdain and the obsession. But I think failure is the key of why those two exist. So I think by removing failure, the disdain, change your value. And then, so how would you heal the value out? R3S. So removing it out of the triple warmer so it doesn't have to go into pain and suffering. Pam, Miss Tickle. Okay, Pam. What habit? They're showing me that there's a habit of how you're doing something and then you respond. So does that mean they're not, body, mind, and spirit is not? So there's an incongruency of intentionally allowing yourself to be present in that. You do something so normal, so habitual that you don't even know you're doing it. But it's learning how to connect more with that heart and reevaluating friendships, reevaluating how you would look at things from a different point of view and realize, oh, wait, I can have growth here. I don't have to learn to bond like that without my heart. I need my heart involved. And they said that you thought your heart was involved, but as a little girl, you were very awkward. And about 5 years old, you said, I don't want to be like. And what happened was that it created a filter over the heart. Is this a heart wall? No, it just literally created a limitation because you said, I don't want to be that. So look at what you don't want to be at, write a few things down, use EFT, whatever healing tool you have, sweetheart, and begin to let that change so that you can begin to let your spirit self to bond differently. Okay, you'll use more discernment, you use more love, and you will move. Let's look. Tracy Van Wart. Tracy. Okay. You used to have a lot of smells. I don't know if they give you a headache or what it is, but it's like going down grocery aisles, laundry soaps, things like that. You sensitive chemicals? No, you just want to. Is this a super sense? No, I just want to avoid something. So tell me about what? About 5 years old, a certain sense became so strong. What's that related to? It changed the energy, but what's it related to? Is that there's an overpowering energy, and it's gonna take. It has the power to over. It is like the belief that if they have that, then they can do that to me. And you don't want to see it in people. So spirit says, okay, fine. You locked it into your nose. If I said to you, one of the sensory accessing tool, basically, if you were to hold one side of your nose and smell those smells or the emotions or the thoughts. And one of the main things that go with that is distrust. So if you were to have your hand here, hold one side of your nose and put it on a scale from 0 to 10 when you're smelling, or even if you can't smell, I distrust, and oh yeah, it's a 10. Oh my God, yeah, I distrust. And then all of a sudden you'd be amazed. So you breathe in, try to anyway. And then all of a sudden you just allow yourself to just, let all that and say, no, you can say remove, transcend, disappear. And then you just switch. Okay. And you'll switch and you'll keep doing it. And on a scale from 0 to 10, oh, this may be an 8. Okay. Just keep doing it. And then breathe in and let it go. Reevaluate, rebreathe, and let it go. And you keep doing that until it's 0 on both sides. Okay. And then you'll start to remove that excess trigger you've got. So when it comes to we're going to do Casey Hester, but as far as will I talk to somebody soon? And in this case, it says no. And the reason why is because there is a filter of pain that keeps repeating. Okay, so what is this? And that is about feeling you must be treated by that type of person, and because you needed to get this this to always happen to you. So it's an always, which means that you recognize something. And so they're saying that you have a self-imposed limitation that stops you from really connecting with anybody? No, that person. And so this, what is the self-imposed limitation? Overwhelm. And your thoughts seem to go nuts. You can change that. You don't have to have your thoughts tell you that this is the end of the world, or that things are going to be like this forever. Learn to just put your hand on your head when you're obsessing or when you're thinking, because you're going to go into a space that doesn't allow you to let people bond with you, because you have to keep fulfilling this over and over. Disrupt it. Okay, I can acknowledge that now it's a habit. And don't do excuses and reasonings that you got to constantly keep doing it, because that tells me you don't want to heal it. Put your hand up here and just give it a shot. It's not going to hurt, but help. And I would do a lot more, but that's a step. Sandy Takel. Yes, I will say Sandy. Sandy. Oh, turn it on. Sandy. Oh, there goes my timer. Sandy. What are all these dogs nipping at me? Get a cute one. It's from the past or now? Oh, so dog sitting. Gotcha. What about it? There's a habit with the dogs or with you? A habit with you. There's a story you keep telling yourself. So you constantly are telling yourself the same story when you begin to dog sit. But then you tell yourself that so you don't feel panicked. So I guess, I don't know if you know you're panicked or if you already tell yourself that so that you can avoid feeling it. Something like that. Okay, what else? You become very self-conscious, as if there's a pair of eyes watching you. It just propelled me back to when I was a little kid at 5 years old, that they're watching you. And so they're going to tattle on you, and then you're going to get into trouble. And then, but it's a 5-year-old that's repeating the story of the feeling and the incidents. And it is, I have to take action. I have to act. I have to act this way. I have to do this. I have to. And it's okay. So we're looking at a have to. Important to really get a handle on this story, tap out the story, whatever healing tool you want to use, and start to get a handle on this, because it's the story that keeps firing off. Keep a journal. Start noticing, and when if you're not open to seeing it, just start opening up to an emotion, whatever the emotion. Say, oh yeah, this is what I was thinking, and then you can begin to train yourself to the next level. Okay. Renee. Hey, babe. Renee Patterson. Compatibility. What's going on? An indecision. Self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is that ability to trust and believe in yourself, and knowing you can be very creative and you can get those end results, and in such a unique, creative way. But there's a pattern of indecisiveness that doesn't allow you to go there. And if I ask what that is, they say that you're used to having people bully you so that you couldn't get that end result. I would address the bullying, and I would do it through L2D, because when you look at the bullying, I want you to feel it and want you to hear how you have to always defend yourself, always how you have to stop it. And you, as you got older, you were very good at it. But the thing is this little girl inside says, it hurt. And I keep having her look, and she keeps reconstructing, not remembering as much as she keeps reconstructing. She keeps going it over in her head. Like, why? Go over her head. But why? I got to get them to understand. But you can't look over here, which is the memory. And so you don't need to get them to understand. But the thing is that you think you do. And if you were to just move your eyes over when you're doing L2D and remember that you had tried to get your point across and it didn't work. So then you felt like you had to use that same tactic of bullyingness in order to, not to the extreme that they went. Oh God, no. But in your loving way of standing up for yourself, and get over here and remember, because that little girl needs you to give her a big hug inside. Sharon Gordon. Are you picking that up? Or you're putting it out. You're noticing. So you're noticing how people have patterns. Get the fuck away from me. You can see how they have it before they say it. So something about a new ability you've taken that next step of not using your ego, but using your spirit mind to be able to see these patterns without getting hurt or offended. You're like, oh, they do exist. And they are unaware of it. So I think you're going to be moving into, the more you begin to heal, the more you're going to begin to move into becoming a healer yourself. You're not quite there, but you're learning those baby steps of remembering. So thank you, Spirit, for helping me remember. Look at those things, because you're going to notice without judgment. Wow. And then you can say, oh, do I do any of those? And then you remove those. Anything specific that you need to heal. There's some contempt you still hold within inside of you at a very young age. Because it's really affecting the health. Well, let's pull it out. R1S. So hold R1S and think of contempt. Look at it from every angle, and how maybe it silently broods or it sits in the body. But get that out, Miss Sharon. You don't need that, hun. Let's see. There you are. There is a Charmaine Scoden. Woohoo! We found you. I'm sorry, I'm so far behind on the comments here. I will get to you in just a minute. No, honey, you didn't miss your reading. You're going to be in a few minutes. I just need to see. Oh, you did too, Sharon. Okay. So I got to catch up on this. Why didn't that thing go off? It should have went off. Oh, holy mothers. Oh, I will reset it again and see what happens. When you set your 11, that means it should show up. Let me just I got to catch up here. All right, where are we at? Where we're at? Got to get down here. Okay, good. Okay, so anybody that's new, now I'm going to do a paid reading because somebody's paid. And it's there. Now, Charmaine, somehow the way you paid, it said I'm not going to get them under 68 days. Now, normally I don't take people and do the show like that. But for you, I will. If there is any complications, we'll work it out. Okay, so I'm going to trust Spirit on this. Now, it said, and Sharon, so you said you paid, but I'm not seeing where it went. So we're going to see if we can pull it back up. Or maybe I misread that. Well, somebody got through. Did I type it right? bpower.mw@dr. Yeah, that's it. When you go to PayPal and you type that in, you share money or whatever it is, pay money. Well, why didn't it show up? Sharon, did you say you paid? Anybody else pay that? Because if this isn't working, then I'll have to open it up on the other screen. So what the heck? Okay, so Sharon, just say yes, I paid, or no, and then I'll look and figure out why that's not working. I will, anybody else, if you've paid, I don't understand why PayPal wouldn't be working, but we'll find out. Anybody else that wants a minute and a half speed read, then you say yes, please, and then I'll know. And then we can go from there. Oh, it's going to be a poo-poo one. Ah, she did. Come on, go down. Oh, it says that you did. Yes. Okay. So we'll go Charmaine, and then we'll go Sharon. Okay. So yes, I did get it, Sharon. We're good. I don't understand why this isn't working, but we're not going to worry about it. Sharon, if you want to call in, we can do it that way. Charmaine. So is there anything particular topic, sweetheart, that you wanted to talk about? Okay. So, and the same thing for you, Miss Gordon. But Charmaine, if you... All right, so this is important. And hopefully she... I see, I don't like to start it unless I know that you're present. Yes, please. No, that's share. Okay, so yeah, I got how many? 1, 2, 2. Charmaine, you gone again, sweetie? Doesn't matter. I'll do Sharon first, then I will go back to Charmaine. And Sharon, if you want to, then you can give me a buzz. Otherwise, I will... oh, that's you there. Get rid of some of these things because I cannot see. Wonder why it didn't work. Okay. All right, ready, Sharon? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horse and all couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together. Are you saying there's something that you couldn't put back? Is it a belief that you can't fix something? Inside self, in a relationship, something to do with the house. You can't fix something in the house. Is this a physical thing, an energetic thing? Oh, so she's unaware. So do you have a vortex in your house? Okay, so apparently you have like a vortex or something in the house. Oh, go ahead and call. Yes, we will do that. That way people can hear it. Yay! It's not sitting right.
Hello.
I can hear you. Anybody else here? Say it again.
Hello. How are you?
Hopefully y'all heard her. All right, we'll have to wait for some comments, but it doesn't matter. So that is good, my dear. Let me pause that just for a second. Oh, you're looking good. Me like that charm.
I just bought this from Elizabeth and Tim Harris today.
Very. It's beautiful. You lost weight too?
I'd like to, but I don't know if I did.
Oh, you look lovely. Yes, you look different. You liking your new home?
Yes. I feel a lot lighter.
Good. So
a lot more creative.
Excellent. That's what we want. Now, part of you, or I started doing the reading a little bit, and it said that inside the home, because I said Humpty Dumpty. So I think you got a vortex in your house, and you're not surprised?
A vortex?
Yeah.
I know I've got issues with water under the house.
That's the vortex is causing that. That's why you can't fix it. Okay, so Humpty Dumpty couldn't fix it. So the thing is that we have, okay, so that's related to the vortex. So what would you like her to do? To cleanse it, clear it, save it? Need to intentionally, well, you're going to talk to it.
Talk to it?
Yeah. All right. So what I'm hearing is that if you were to talk to the land,
right,
and you can do it inside the house, outside the house, but I can see you touching the ground. I can actually begin to see you talking to it and saying, okay, what is it? You're going to hear. That's why I said you're going to become a healer. Ha, that's funny. All right. So it says that the emotions of it being irrelevant. So is it picking you up? No. Is it have the residue from beforehand? People beforehand? No, the residue of the planet. So are you picking up everything else? No, it is trapped. So do we release it like that? No, you got to release being irrelevant from that vortex. And so how would you do that? You, again, they're showing me that you're communing with that, the ground, you're communing, and you're saying, okay, so do you know how we use a magnet on each other, and we just take that and we say yeah, you got one. Yeah, so I would just say, just take and just like you're stroking, just imagine that you're helping that vortex wherever it is, and say, let's remove the irrelevant, being irrelevant, and then do that 10 times, and with intention, call in some angels or some helpers. You know how to do all that. And there's a crystal. Do you have a crystal wand or something?
I have lots of crystals, especially now. I just bought a whole bunch.
Ooh, yeah, that's my girl. Mm-hmm. Okay, you have a blue one, like a solidite,
Sodalite?
Yeah, do you have one of those?
Oh, yeah.
That's the one you're supposed to use. And when you do it, they're saying that you take the wand after you released it, and then you're going to take and you're going to stir. You're going to aim it down and stir it.
Okay.
And then you're going to just say, you're just going to feel like you're going to help to remove it. And then you're going to put, you may end up going your hands backwards. You're going to start putting and you're going to start, you could even put that on the ground and use your hand and use a pendulum. No, use it like a wand. Okay.
Feather?
What's that?
Feather?
How about a feather? Oh, that'll work. Yes. And you're going to just kind of like you go forwards and backwards, but you're going to help bring the light in, and then you're going to help take the negativity out, the irrelevancy, and you're going to just start putting the light in, because remember, energy exchange is that if you take energy out, you got to put the energy that belongs there back. So that's love. You may just take a few. You should, if you work with energy shifts in the body, your energy should shift when it shifts, or consciously you'll know. But they said somehow that keeps affecting an eruption, and that would have to be, like you said, your pipes. What else is there? Anything else about the vortex that we could address now? And then you cleanse it and clear it and then bless it. And do you know how to do the Star of Solomon? So Solomon's seal, the Solomon seal back in the Bible's times was the Jewish star. So it goes, and then what you say is, let there be light, and at each point, let there be light, love, peace, harmony, joy, and charity in this space right now. And then just kind of with the intention of spirit, blow in love. Okay. And it'll create a healing and helping. It's like taking, when we put our finger on our third eye and our belly button and hold it, this will help the earth, that particular part of the earth. Okay. I'm sorry the camera's pushed to the side. You can only see half of me.
Fine.
But it's on video. We're good. There's an auto response for you. No. For the house. An auto response from the house. So there was a fight before you moved in. Is it in the living room? Is it in the kitchen? Where is it?
That's bedroom.
Yeah, that's where I was going next. You can feel it?
Yeah, it keeps me up all night.
Okay, all I keep hearing in that is like, get out, get out, get out. And it's not about it, you, it's not a ghost. It is, there was a fight. There is emotional crap that's sitting there. Now, what's interesting about this, wow, I've never seen this before. She doesn't have that device. Imagine. Do you have a pyramid?
A crystal.
Yeah, and it's pyramid shape, maybe?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. All right, so you're going to take and you're going to put it where closer to like the end as you're about ready to walk out your bedroom. So you're going to place it on the floor and you're going to just kind of commune with the spirits, any particular angel, goddess, work with your guides, just call your guides in, and then you're going to activate it. And what's going to happen is you're going to thank you for clearing out this emotional stuff. Now, normally we'd go the other route, but in this case, they're saying what's going to happen is they show me that it's going to open up and then be like this tornado type thing. Okay. And what it's going to do is it's the white light and it's going to just pull it in and then cleanse it out. And then it's going to sweep it up. Just do that. I just put it in place. About maybe 15 minutes, maybe, you know, if you feel like you want to go longer, whatever. But when you're all done, you're going to take a candle, have it lit, and then you're going to turn the pyramid upside down and say, cleanse, cleanse, clear, 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 you know, and then you're going to, again, bless it and then put it back on your shelf. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Oh, I wasn't expecting any of this today, but hey, you were good. Well, they said earlier you're going to be a healer. That would totally make sense. A lot of this is starting to, the reason why the projection is showing this is because of your third chakra and your second. It's the communication between your second and your third chakra, front, back, in your will. The will to have the courage to have relations and relations to have courage. So are you willing to? You want to, but are you willing to? Yes. What's going on? And they're saying that you've had so many bad experiences of feeling attacked.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they want that removed. And they said that the first place you would do is behold R1D, and you think about how that feeling of attacked. But I also focus, if you can, maybe just intentionally in the beginning, of noticing the second and the third chakra. You go working on the second and third chakra, hold the R1D, and I want you to feel attacked. And they will actually feel like they're breathing in the back. Because the more that you're not willing to, you'll feel it constrict. And the more that you're willing to, and you've healed it, you'll feel an energy shift. You should feel it come bigger and open. And then, do we need to connect the second and third? Yes, because there's a disconnect. Can we do that now? Okay, so after you're done, good thing it's recorded. After you're done, you're going to take your magnet and you're going to say connecting the second and the third chakra at the will. You know, and you're going to do that how many times? 3 times. Okay. And then you're going to do it the other way. You're going to say you're going to connect the third and the second chakra. So you got to do it back and forth. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that'll work. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
Looks like that pretty much covers it.
Oh, good. Okay. Because I thought, okay, God, I didn't even, I asked it, but they just jump right in.
That's okay. I said, I gave Spirit the go ahead.
Okay, so something about egotistic. Someone else. You have a filter that your soul is saying, we're actually kind of done with. And is it towards men, women, people, animals? No, not animals, people. Groups, individual, gender, individuals. Is it gender? No, just individuals. There's a certain type of attitude they put up. So they carry
arrogance.
That's it. Okay, that's it. And the thing is that the filter of that is that when you kind of like arrogant people, okay, you're losing power.
Oh.
And we don't want you to do that. Okay, so I'm glad you asked. In this case, you are going to hold R1D again. so that R1D, and you're going to focus on that, how much that arrogance gets you. But it's also how much I don't like arrogance. Okay, so that's two things. And then you're going to you want to heal it to the point where you could not give it a time of day. It's done.
Right.
You're just like,
right.
And so you can let the arrogant people be arrogant to other people because they raise their hand to be those buttheads. Let them do it over there. You don't need to attract it in anymore, because the more you thought about it, the more you kept attracting them in. Now you're in a whole new space. You have been on this journey, and I'm very proud. You look awesome, by the way.
Thanks.
The energy. What energy are you referring to? You stored something in your body. And will that be released? No. Pain. Okay, but do you have pain lately? Back pain. Okay. They're saying that you really need to look at R2D. That there are some points, definitely the spleen 21 to help get rid of that, and the source point, which is SP3. It's on the side of the ankle of the foot. Let me just check right here. And let's see, both sides. And it's this point down here. See that right there? Yep.
Can't quite see it. It's white.
How about that? There?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. If not, you can see it here. And I'm pointing to that. There's 2 points, and I'm showing the camera right now. And these 2 points on both sides of the feet, these 2 points here, they are to do with spleen. Now, there's another one on the side of the leg, but obviously I don't have that one here. I guess I got to get a new one. Okay, I'll have to get that. But don't. Just start doing those. We need to get the energy rolling back into your body, because that is causing the pain to store up, or energy to store up to create pain. Okay?
Right.
That's a good doozy of a reading. So thank you very much, sweetheart. We will talk to you later. And thank you for coming on the show. All right. All right. Bye, dear. Okay. Now, when it comes to...
It's still on.
I know. I almost got there. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work too. Copper around the house. Forgot about that. Yes. Got to see where I've been. I can hear. Charmaine, have you come back, sweetheart? Where are you? I'd like to. I just don't want to give a reading. You deserve my attention. Okay. So those that haven't gotten a read, that if you're here, still waiting on Charmaine. If not, I will have to either go against my beliefs and do it, because I'm not even sure for friends and how to connect with that. I don't want to not fulfill anything. You're welcome. All right, Spirit, you just tell me what to do. But so for the rest of you, while we're waiting, say yes, please, and I will finish up on any of the speed reads I may have missed. So I'm thinking I might actually get a phone. And if I do, that means that I can start doing, hopefully, I got to figure out a good phone, people. Because the phone I'd like to get is one that can do streaming. And so I can do these type of videos on the go, as well as to do Instagram. Okay. We'll start with Amy Jensen for Emberly, and then Joanne. So we'll go from there. So little Emberly. Okay, so the sensation, because you got to understand, Emberly's a baby. So the sensation of feeling awkward, Emberly is picking up that feeling. And when a child starts to pick up energies, they don't quite understand what they are. but if it keeps being repetitive, it will be felt until it is defined. In this case, they're saying that it starts to pick up as an anxiety. So the body's picking up the awkward and then feeling the anxiety, which then causes a social anxiety. No. Separation. No. It causes the anxiety of what? In this case, it is anytime somebody's going to be awkward, she's going to scream. Do you feel it physically? I mean, as far as pain or anything? It causes a lot of bubbles, disturbances called gas. And so her body is creating a way of trying to figure out and feel with her immune system what's going on. The best thing I would tell you if you're babysitting or you're taking care of a child is to, rub this point right here, because this is the large intestine. And in another part, because the body goes into the trip warmer is kicking off. Do you want to rub the source? No, it's 3. It's okay in the back. Okay, so when it comes to, and when you're tapping for EFT, there's that gamut point. Well, that's actually to do with the trip warmer. But this point here in the middle, okay, go down 3 fingers. That point right there should be sore, especially people that are, stressed all the time. Oh, see, I'm not surprised mine are sore, because from the event, my body is still producing certain chemicals until I get it gone. Oh, that feels good. Okay, I have one over here. So I will do Joanna, and then I will do Jennifer Osika, and then Pilar. So Joanne. On auto response, people give you auto response. So you don't feel like you're being heard sometimes, because you're like, I'm talking, and they're like, That's the story. And that energy within inside of you becomes less than, because you lose the power. So you can't help but to see how they go, and you're like, and it actually aggravates you. And sometimes it causes you to think, what the hell? So you reconstruct, so what all those chemical peptides will start creating a hysterical, like you want to bite back, or you want to go crazy, or you want to go, stop doing that to me. So what we need to look at, because those are responses, what is causing this? So, and they're saying that it's about being attracted to self-centered people. Now, some of them, they're doing it because they're busy and they're trying to acknowledge you as they finish doing their work. But some people are just self-centered in making sure that their needs are always satisfied. And that is where you were taught that that's what people do. But it created an arrested development to help you see that a lot of people aren't like that. And you can attract and become different. You don't have to constantly have that particular thing in your space. How would you want to release it? And that is feel how wounded that feels. Feel that wound. And they're saying once you address that emotion, and you can do it like this, you can use EFT, there's other things you can do. And one of them's picking yourself off the floor, because literally when you see it, some of your energy just spills. Picking your energy off the floor is looking to, and you draw in that back. There's a whole healing tool. You can go to Medicine Woman, the number 4, the letter U, .weebly, WEEBLY.com, and look for healing tools, and send picking yourself up off the floor, because you have a lot of energy that's on the floor and you keep tripping over your own energy. Get that back in your body. Jennifer Osika. Unable to sleep. You're mulling something over in your head. You're mulling something over, and they said that you reconstruct what's going on. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have acted that way. I feel like you put yourself under, I have to be strong. I have to be fight back. I have to do this. But you are beginning to realize, I think you're getting tired. And that's why you can't sleep, is you're getting overtired. And they're saying that the way that you had to always respond, whether it was being hysterical or whether you had wounded, what do you call it, silent brooding, it just, you're like, oh, this is tiring. You're expending more energy, and there's a part of you that just, but you love it. You love fighting back. It's like, ooh. So you're wrestling between two parts of yourself. So they become incongruent. You're no longer congruent that this is the way you have to behave and this is the way you have to do things. You're literally, you're literally doing this. You're shifting. So you're literally going to say, I cannot do something anymore and I need to change this. And you're going to sculpt certain things more your way instead of just being a reaction and a behavior. The best thing to heal for that would be R1D, because you got self-imposed limitations. I have to do this. Pilly, 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 pilly. What does the other side see for me? Okay, so as I'm looking over here, the other side says the way people's energy is, the way that they have been just demonstrating themselves. Now, I don't know what, they told me to grab the goddess cards, and I have another set of goddess cards somewhere. Is that them off though? Yes, it is. Grab the wrong ones. Okay, so these goddess cards are the ones they want. Yes. No, you want one of each? Fine. So call in this goddess of, what the heck? Anki? I think that's an A. A-I-N, no, A-I-K-E. Like Nike, but spell it with an A. And it says call in so that you can begin to get your ambition. Which camera here? So both cameras. Trying to get both cameras. Call them in, because there's something about the ambition, and you want me to, okay. So we're going to go with Doreen Butcher now. The other one was by Colette Baron Reed. Oh, we're going to two. Names I can't pronounce. So anyways, your ambition and your blooming and your golden opportunity. They're saying you have to call that energy in, not just for yourself, but you call these goddesses in to be able to help you feel, wow, I cannot make that. Is that better? On the one screen it's better and the other one's not. Oh, well. And then the other card is okay. So they're saying just work with the energies. They want you to work with the energies for that next phase of, because it's like you need that extra oomph, and you can have that. Just maybe call them in and help. So normally we say yes, please. Here it is. Okay, Elena Impala. And then it'll be Pamela. Okay. Charlemagne did not come back. All right, Spirit, we're going to have to make a decision. Let me take a drink just for a second. Elena, you have a loved one, and they say speak in terms. I don't know what that means. Certainly, speak in terms. What are you trying to say? Yes, we are loved. You're loved. We've never died. You have a block and a pain that doesn't allow us to, you can't hear us. We don't match in vibration. And, but you have a lot of distrust because you think you're going to connect to the devil, and you're not. Your right brain says be creative. Your left brain says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And they says that you have had been brainwashed by so much TV or movies or something that says it's wrong or that bad things are going to occur. And they said that that needs to be healed. Now, the main thing of what you're afraid of is that they're going to overpower you. And I would give you a tool of hope therapy, but in this case, I want you to do EFT, emotional freedom technique. If you were to tap and feel how something can overpower you without having you complete loss of control, because your body says that it had happened at 3 years old. Somebody was yelling at you, and you felt that so deeply that you could feel like you had no control, and so it's quite hesitant because it's that energy is familiar, that pain. So again, another one could do would be just doing this as you thinking and you're feeling. Take it at baby steps if you need to, but it needs to be released. Otherwise, they're saying they love you and everything's great. Pamela Rabin. Uncomfortable. So when you're getting comfortable, you have a reaction, or your reaction because it's uncomfortable. Same thing. Okay. So there's something about you're aware of the uncomfortable, and it doesn't just set right. Is this my intuition? Yes and no. Your intuition's telling you something, but because you have a picture of something scary, then it's actually blocking the correct information coming through. So fear is actually giving you a false positive reading. And so as you begin to develop your intuition, you need to clear out that particular fear. And is there anything going with that fear? Living through others. When you begin to feel how other people want you to live through their life, there is an uncomfortability. Intuition says, yep, we're starting this again. And then ego says, yep, we're supposed to have fear this. No, your intuition says, yes, this is happening. And then you can use healing tools to disengage the emotion that creates the cords so that you have to live through them. It doesn't have to always be that way. Trust me. You begin to heal that emotion, heal that feeling, heal that sensation of how your body took a picture of things that happened in the past. Because again, it happened at such a long time ago, like 3 years old. And if none of you can do this, then, make an appointment with me, pay me, and I'll help you break all this. Let's see. Bernadette Sereno. Bernadette Sereno. Chakras. The fourth chakra, front, back. Willing to love, willing to be loved, willing to love, willing to let people in, willing to let myself be loved. Willing to let myself be loved by yourself, by others. What's stopping it? 2 years old, 2 months old. 2 months old before the womb, in the womb. 2 months old in the womb. So that means you've picked up somebody else, your parents or whatever emotions. So it's 7. Okay, so you had gone through. So you looked this word up, demoralized, and you picked up demoralized while you're in the womb. And now it's interfering with that chakra to be able to let that love in. And in this case, I'm going to do it, and then you can do it for yourself. And goodness gracious, Brenda, that's okay. You can use your hand. You can get a refrigerator magnet. Okay, you can just a regular refrigerator magnet. And then you're going to write down so that you can memorize it or whatever. Prenatal conception, demoralized, and you need to do it 10 times. Okay, you start here, you go prenatal conception, demoralized, prenatal conception, demoralized. Ooh. Okay, so then you just keep doing that 10 times until it's finished, and then what it does is it disengages that energy and pulls it out of the body's consciousness, so no longer is it trapped. I know, cold coffee, yum. No, thank you, Elena. Again, when people tell me if I'm right or not. Sometimes you catch it way afterwards. That's okay. Write me. Pamela, we need to get it so that you're not uncomfortable. You don't have to be that way. Tammy Turner. Okay, Tammy Turner. Hi, darling. Okay. The interaction with the environment. For some reason, it's becoming harder to bond with people. And okay, so tell me why that feels that. It looks like a lack of luster. There's literally a disconnect. And they said it's felt inside the body. The body is remembering when you were 5 years old. Okay, connecting for the first time, like in kindergarten or something like that. And the reciprocity, not getting that attention or that love back that you give. But what you got back in return, which caused it, was this panic. The panic that and petrified of rejection, yours, theirs, which you thought was yours. Oh. So now time went by, you feel like it's your issue. Okay, so you have to first become aware that it's not yours, it's theirs. But because you recognize the rejection and the emotion, if you remember how to do hope therapy, I would say R1D, because you've learned to be over compassionate, which you allow yourself to take on their issues, and that gets very confusing because you are becoming more of who Tammy is at this age, which is you don't have to take on other people. Okay, so I'm going to, because I don't know if I can connect with somebody that paid. Now, I'm going to do the reading and pray that they'll see it, or they'll connect with me, and I'll tell them where to locate it, because I don't know if I can connect with them afterwards. That's my only problem. Again, it's pending, and normally I wouldn't give a read. I'd make you wait, and then I would just do it afterwards. But I don't know if I can reconnect with this person. So Spirit tells me to go ahead. All right, and that's what we're going to do. I don't know what Charlene wanted to address, but that's okay. We're going to let Spirit talk about this. So I'm going to set this for 11 minutes because, again, it was paid. Charmaine. Okay. Skoden. Yes. Story. Where? The story of panic. It's in the body's consciousness, and there is an actual story, a physical story, It's physical of how the body responds. Physically, it was a live experience. Okay, so this live experience, it's making my lungs rattle. So I can feel the more than one meridian kicking off at once. And your body says it needs to let go of something because a large intestine is causing it to affect my lungs. So it is a story. So what story was created at 4 years old? So this particular story was repeated? 4 years old. And it is felt deep inside the body that it causes the meridians to create a pattern that causes a physical issue. Okay, don't need it. Did I get it? So be it. The compatibility, that what happens is that the body starts to respond, and it goes from compatibility to repulse. What this means is, here's a 0.0, and then you have a -10, and you have a +10. When you are completely compatible, there is no repulsion. 2 magnets, great. Okay, so where are you on that scale? According to this, are you repulsed? No, incompatible. Is that, remember, this is 0.0, you are at a +5. You need to be a positive 10. As it starts to go down, you can start to physically feel, your body starts to respond, and that's what they're referring to. If it gets to 0 or less, then you can cause a really physical issue. Whether does it have to do with, and then now we're just going to go a little bit deeper of what's going on. Is it a sensitive, an intolerance? Yes. There's an intolerance, and it is to do with certain thoughts and an emotional factor. Okay. So these thoughts and the emotion is, there's also what? Arrogant people really get to you. And the thoughts that come about, which then creates a story. So at 4 years old, you were exposed to this. You heard how adults respond, their language, and this is what you thought you had to do or be. Yes. Okay. I have to be lofty. I have to, exert myself. This is what I'm supposed to be. But your body is saying, yes, we hold this program consciously and spiritually. You're shifting. And so now you're incongruent with your body's consciousness and who you are, because there's a party that's like, but I don't really want to have that behavior of being loftier or respond that way. But the body's consciousness says, but that's what we do. You can change that. You can heal that. But it has triggers, because whatever happened at that age become an engram, which means sight, sounds, colors, temperature, pictures, objects, and things like this can trigger it, because it is you stored all that so deeply. But it's the story. And they said that you may not be aware of it, but if you can hear your story, not just what happened at 4, but how you have to protect yourself, so you maybe reconstructed about what you're going to say ahead of time, I'm going to practice, and then all of a sudden the day comes and you may not use it, or if you do, you do it really well. But you're saying your body, your soul is saying, no, I don't want to do this program. I don't want to do this program again. I'm done. Okay. So this is where could cause a little bit of an issue. A little bit of an issue. Action. You want her to take action? No, it's a physical action, and it is in this eye, this one. In this eye, it's a 10. In this eye, it is 5. So you might have saw some violence, or you saw some lofty energy, but it isn't. So I would say you need to do eye accessing, which means you have to take the incident of how you saw something and look through just one eye at a time. People say, well, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Another way to do it is if you covered it up and you deliberately looked at that experience, felt it, know it, be it. And then you just basically, I'm always telling people to remove, transcend, let it go. But you can just switch over and retell the story from the beginning from this eye. And then you can let it go, remove, transcend, let it go. And then you just switch over and look through this eye. And you keep putting on a scale from 0 to 10. 10 meaning, oh my God, yeah, it's a 10. Now it's an 8. And you'll know, because it'll feel different and it'll sound different. And and it'll look different. And you keep going back and forth until there's 0. Okay, your body's like, oh, I'm done. I can release that. That's okay. That's good. But you have an auto response to this. The auto response is the behavior. We just said that your body says, or your soul contract said it doesn't want anymore. And it says, well, I don't know how else to be. And they say, well, once you begin to heal out and notice that it's ego and it's this emotion and it's this and that, you then can catch yourself. You can do the rubber band trick, and that is reward and punishment. So if you noticed even after the fact that, oh shit, I responded that way, you snap, and then you kiss yourself to help you say, I caught it. You don't have to go degrading and have to heal yourself, to change by saying negative stuff, because that just creates a whole nother mountain out of a molehill. You catch yourself, and you reward yourself because yes, you caught it. So then you can flip the script of allowing yourself to say, yes, it happened, but I could have done it in a happier way, a nicer way, or whatever. You just keep doing it. And then if you're not sure how that looks, thank you, Spirit. And you call in all these people that are great examples of how they respond to, your scenario. You'll see it. You'll see how to do that. Right here. Oh, there's another repulse. And it's a -3. What's this about? Guilt. So it's after the fact of that, adding that to behavior, you've created another one. And so when you go into guilt, your body goes into another sickness form, because remember how I told you this was the middle, and this is a +10 and a -10. Well, your body, here's the middle. You are in a negative now, a -3. And the thing is that you're going to physically feel this more. And in this case, they said this is connected to guilt, because this is the way you behaved, because you don't want to behave that way anymore. So it becomes now is that sensitive? An intolerance. So you no longer tolerate your behavior or whatever it is, but you're using guilt. The best way to do this, I would use hope therapy, but the best way for me to tell you was if you could just begin to put your hand here, and it covers all the basic important points to help create, because your frontal lobe creates reality. And when you get stressed, 80% of the blood leaves that frontal lobe, so you can't create. So if you're going to be guilty, then it's going to come in, and then you're going to not be able to create reality without guilt. And so by having that, it brings your electromagnetic being. So you bring the blood back up to your head. The hairline is the liver meridian, and what it does is it processes out those chemical peptides. This is an emotional point through all the meridians, and it's emotional or neural lymphatics. I can't even remember what it's called now. Oh, whatever. Neurovascular. That's it. So you put your hand like this and just begin to feel dishonored, feel the guilt, and you put it on a scale from 0 to 10. Get it down to 0. Okay. You stay there until it begins 0. Don't, if you feel like it's down and it's gone, but there's a little bit left, don't finish that by saying, oh, I'm done. Finish it out. Don't waste it, because it can begin to grow again. So you just keep it until it's like there's nothing left with that, and you can begin to heal. What do you deal when you have to deal with pride? Well, when pride comes in, you need to learn to be proudful of yourself. But at the same time, when you have pride because your feelings were hurt, it is to go in and use a healing tool to feel how your feelings are hurt. Begin to take that and stop it, because it actually feeds to keep the thing going and alive. Break that down. Use EFT, whatever it is that you need to do. Strategy of what? Of being, of letting go. The strategy of what do you do with people that they enter the room, and then your energy resonates with them? You're going to have to put your finger in your belly button, in your forehead, push it and lift, start creating that energy. Don't take them on. You can then just take and rub your hands together, breathe and bend your hands, and which hand goes up is where your head goes, and this one goes down, and breathe and let go. And then you come back and then do that several times. And then you end it with making big figure 8s. Okay. And you do them at the neck and the heart, the solar plexus, the hips, the knees, and the ankles. And it starts to push everybody's energy up. So it doesn't have to, you don't have to become them. You don't have to resonate as that person. Okay. A lot of healing on your part today. All right. So the timestamp. Okay. So it was before 2. Charlotte, I should have checked. So I have to go back to at least 199. Oh, it's after 2 hours already. Okay, so Bernadette, I swear to God, I had given you a reading. I'll give you one more, but if there's 2, understand, pay it forward energetically. Oops, and then I've got to get off. Ready? All right, so Bernadette, Sereno, self-conscious. You're self-conscious of the physical, what you say, how you feel, because people take offense. So how you feel like people have noticed how you're feeling. And so you have to put on a smile. So you don't want them to feel your negativity or your sadness. No, you don't want them to feel, because you feel like they're reading you. Oh, interesting. So you always try to display that you're indifferent so that it doesn't cause a ripple. So it doesn't set people off, or they have to ask, or you don't want them to ask. I feel like you're kind of like an introvert to some degree, but you just feel so exposed. And so you become, what do you want her to know? They said address the awkward feeling that you don't know how to really bond and that you don't want to bond. And they said this is the second chakra issue, in that the front chakra is about feeling. And you feel with that front chakra. That's why you just went through everything I just said in the beginning. And in this case, I would take and understand that you don't want to be bullied. You see it as bullying. I would heal that out. One thing again, you can just put your hand like that. Okay. Bernadette, apparently I read before, so go back and find it. Thank you, Amy. You guys are wonderful. And again, you don't have to be slaves to your emotions. You don't have to constantly, if you see something constantly happening to you that's in a negative way, understand it can lead back to your values. I value their opinion, and apply to everybody. I am so glad I healed the value out, and now I can value on a different hierarchy. And I removed that belief that was taught to me that everybody hated me. I don't have to believe that anymore, because that's not true. I mean, it was always a block that stopped me from feeling with my heart because I believed it was true. No, it doesn't have to be. Okay. Remember to watch the reruns if you want. You can, if you hit like, you get a card. If you share the video, you get a card. Come over to YouTube and, become, subscribe, if you subscribe, and if you go by your name and we're friends, I can get you a card. But if now YouTube has it where you can be friends on YouTube through messaging, you just have to find it. It's in that little top button. I can't remember. It looks like an arrow. And anyways, we can become friends that way, or whatever. But the thing is, I can then give you a card if we become friends. So if you like or leave a comment, then I can give you a card. So I do keep watch of that. And it's Brenda Medicine Woman, or Medicine Woman Brenda, but you should be able to see me. Thank you very much for everybody. And you guys, the love and support I got today was just amazing. And again, I wasn't telling you so that you could give me support. I thought if there was a backlash of whatever was going on with this bitch slap, you didn't need to be exposed to it. Or if I was, if you felt my energy, some people feel my energy, I'm okay. I'm doing more than okay, because I'm healing it. And therefore I wanted people to, that's just, we're growing, we're walking each other home. What I always say to everybody is, you know what it is, stay blessed.